Hey there, Wealth Rebels. Welcome back to the Wealth Rebels show. I am your resident Wealth Rebel, Emma Wright, and today I'm going to be taking you on a deep and kind of like immersive experience into the method that I have been intuitively following my whole life. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to go into my life story with you today, but I'm going to be taking you into a method that's enabled me to magnetize in a life that I love whilst creating in equal measure massive impact in both my life and in my career and in my business world. Okay. And it was only recently that I realized that this framework, which is now an 8-step methodology that I teach to others who want to be a wealth empowerment coach, just like me, was life changing, not just for me, but for the clients that I tried it out on when I became a financial coach back in 2021, right? When I launched my first of my businesses. So this framework is now what I call the star code. And it's what I give and create to generate a wealth blueprint that will ignite your fire to bring the very things that you dare to dream about into physical reality. Because I don't know about you, we didn't just come here to dream, we came here to live and experience life at its absolute fullest, day in, day out, not just at the weekends, not just when we go on holiday, but every day. Okay. But here's the thing, be warned, this is life changing, and any change isn't easy. But if you dare to dream, if you kind of unlock that kind of part of you when you have an itch to scratch, when you know there's something that you need to do differently, it ends up becoming more painful if you ignore it. Trust me, I know. I've done things where I have ignored it, and it's been like someone's hit me across the face with a big old sledgehammer. So, welcome to this really special episode of the Wealth Rebel Show, where I will show you kind of what it takes to unlock your wealth and purpose in your life, how you need to fully embody the star code, my 8-step formula to build a life that you love and create the abundance that you desire. Okay. Before we dive into the show, if you enjoy my content, it would mean the absolute world to me if you would like, subscribe, follow, leave me a review so that others can find me and we can create that wealthy ripple effect all around the world, because that's what it's all about after all. And if there's a topic that you want me to address or discuss, then write me a comment below, reach out. All the ways that you can contact me are also in the show notes. I am here for you. So here's the thing. Here's like probably one of the biggest things, the elephant in the room. For so many of us, we literally don't connect with the word wealth at all because of all the things that we hear about when it comes to wealth, what it is and what it isn't. It can mean that we don't really believe that it's for us, even when we have perceived wealth of money. So firstly, let me tell you one thing. Wealth is your absolute birthright. The end. Okay, that's me done. I'm going to go home now. If it was that simple that I just had to say, hey guys, there's an infinite amount of wealth out there, you just have to believe that wealth is your birthright, then we'd all be doing it, right? And we would see the end of world poverty and all the things that we see in the world that makes us feel sad and believe that this isn't true. So this is why over the years, I have been creating a framework that would enable my clients to actually be wealthy, like really wealthy, like jumping out of their beds each day, every morning saying, hello, darling, it's a new day. I'm making love to my life. Every single day, knowing that everything that they need is already fully present in all of its abundance, and everything that they might need or desire is within them, and they can get out of their heads and to truly start living in alignment with their heart and soul's calling, that purpose. Okay. So In order to kind of bring this to life, I want to consider, let's go back and consider how the star code started out. Most of my clients came to me back in the day for help with their relationship with money. They didn't call it their relationship with money. They came to me because I should have started a pension. I've been told you're a pension expert, and now you also help people to do it themselves. So I've been told that I need to work with you. Or help. If I don't get better with my money, my wife is going to leave me. Literally had that conversation. And I'm told that you know both sides of the coin, mind the pun. So you can help me to sort my money out, but also this will help me to sort out my relationship with money, my wife, aka all of those relationships, right? And being the obliging, newly certified financial coach, I did just that. I'd show them how to invest. I would work out their freedom number, aka what they needed to spend each month and each year to live a life that they'd been accustomed to. But the more that we got to know each other, the more that we got to really delve deep into their inner wealth through the coaching that I was learning about, we realized that their freedom number wasn't really their freedom number, as they'd been holding back. And, they weren't really admitting what it is that they really wanted from their life because it was selfish to even admit it. And it was a massive light bulb moment that happened with client after client after client, okay? But we would start with that limited version of their freedom number because that felt really, really comfortable. It was within their comfort zone. It was what they were used to. And we would work out how much they needed to invest to retire one day, okay? And as we delved deeper and I got to know more about them, it became really apparent that they didn't want to retire at all, nor not if they actually cared about what they were doing. When they really got to know what they cared about on this deeper level, they realized that if they did what they wanted to do, they never needed to retire at all. Actually, when they were super honest with me, which happened quite quickly on our journey as working together, retirement made them want to run a mile. They were only bringing it up with me because I was a retirement planning expert. They thought they should be doing things that were more grown up with their money, just like the Joneses next door, who literally had it all, the perfect marriage, the slick car, the kids in private school, the amazing holidays, literally the chocolate box life, the assets in the bank, the assets in the stock market, the house in the south of France, right? They had it all. Turns out I worked with the Joneses as well, and they didn't have it all because it's never, ever what it seems to the outside world. But oh my God, when we dived into it with my clients, it was like, I'm such a letdown. This is never going to happen for me. Firstly, if you really want the life of the Joneses or whoever that life that you think you should have is, it can be your life if you really, really wanted it. Usually, as we delve deeper, what really resonated and what always happened with client after client after client was what they really wanted from their life was completely radical, completely bespoke, completely unique, not at all what society might expect. And for the first time in that space that we shared, as I showed them how pensions worked, how ISAs worked, how the stock market worked, a fire was lit that we couldn't put out. Because once you light the fire, it burns, it burns, it burns. When client after client realized that they couldn't plan for this life, because if they carried on in this life, it was going to finish them off. Because they were heading for breakdowns or burnout. They were deeply, deeply unhappy at their core. But they had never had that safe space to really admit it with someone that wasn't going to judge them, right? With someone that held space and listened. Because like the Joneses next door, they'd been to a great school. They had the qualifications to, to make it work, to climb the corporate ladder, to make the money and be wealthy in their own right. So if they even brought up their deep unhappiness with the people that they loved, the people that they loved would be really supportive and just say, you have it all. You'll be fine. Just keep going. Keep your chin up. Very British. So therefore you stop bringing it up because it doesn't feel safe and you feel it stupid or you feel that you can't do that. So for the first time, they dared to admit that they really wanted a totally different way of being, right? A totally different way of being, a totally different life. They didn't fully know yet what that was, but they knew that they wanted something super different. And as I moved through my own entrepreneurial journey in this time, after having baby Rose in April 2021, just 3 months after starting Emma Wright coaching, where I didn't take out, time out to be a mummy. I was writing a blog for a friend who'd started a company in the States. I was seeing clients. I was investing heavily in learning more and more about the power of coaching and life planning. I realized by the end of 2022, like 18 months later, that I too needed radical change. I'd moved to North Devon, leaving London in 2014 for a surfing, beachy life. Yet, I moved to a village that was not close to the beach, isolated from the vibrant life that I actually loved when I was living in London, like coffee shops on the high street, friends that I could walk and see. And I'd been working harder than ever, literally harder than ever. And I was so unhappy and I was really, really unhealthy. I did not live a vibrant life. And I shamedly couldn't surf yet, a goal that I dreamed about. In fact, I barely went to the beach at all. So at the end of 2022, I took my first step back and I thought about my why. Why am I doing all of this? What really matters to me? And I realized that I really, really cared about the planet, that I literally couldn't cope with what we were doing to it. And I felt really strongly that in order to save the planet, I had to empower more amazing people in business to launch life-changing ventures that would help the planet, not hinder it. Okay. And I also realized, because life's dualistic, I had a dual mission, that I came here to live an absolutely epic life. And I needed to start doing some of those life-changing goals that I'd been briefly thinking about them briefly, but never actually having the time and energy to do anything about it, like learning to scuba dive. So what's funny is that when I mentioned, and this is really funny, when I mentioned this proud, profound, life-changing moment of clarity to my then business mentor in a mastermind, they said, if you talk about planet over profit, you will not attract anyone into your business. You need to hook them in with what you think they want and then give them what you want. I sat there and I thought, hook them in. I mean, the hook sounds painful in itself, right? Hook them in with what they think they want and then give them what I want. Like, what the absolute bleep? Okay. At that moment, I felt sick. Have you ever had that sick feeling in the pit of your stomach? Literally, that gut wrenching feeling. This is not just a feeling of sickness. That is your heart speaking to you. It's your gut, it's your soul telling you a really, really clear message that you are not doing things that are in alignment with what you came here to be, do, and have. Okay? It is your intuition speaking out to you. Your gut is your intuition, right? Gut-led life is you intuitively living by your intuition. In that moment, and I've always I've always kind of done this in my life. I've always followed my gut. And that's why I realized that I've always really kind of done the star code my whole life, I quit that mastermind and I started to redesign my business, Emma Wright Coaching, and I created a brand new brand identity that stood for kind of my values, that stood for what wealth meant to me, which is about independence and sovereignty, because it wasn't about me at all. Other people's wealth is their blueprint. It's their birthright. And I'm here to facilitate that change, to hold space, to be a guide, but to not ever give them what I wanted. So Independent Wealth was born in January 2023. And since then, I've been taking my clients that did work with me, by the way, when I started to talk about things that really aligned with me. I started to work with game-changing clients that are doing amazing things for the planet on this super special journey that I now call the Star Code. And it is this exact journey that I take myself on that has led me to living a life that allows me to take my kids to school, that allows me to surf. Yes, I've had 2 lessons, okay? I'm having a 3rd one next week, where I practice yoga every day. I host my podcast. I have a YouTube channel. I run 2 businesses. And I'm getting ready to launch a 3rd in the heart of North Devon in January 2025. Watch this space. The Star Code is my signature 8-step formula that empowers budding entrepreneurs to become their own wealth empowerment coach, to uncover their why, right? And get really clear on the how. Working with the power of 8, 8 is the sign for infinity, okay? It's a never-ending cycle. So this code is how you go and create everything that you dreamed of. You move from a life of shoulds into a life of launching one simple venture after another, one baby step at a time. And before you know it, you look back and you're living your dream life. You're living your version of the beach life that's for me. And it's that never-ending cycle of manifestation to creation, daring to dream up the next steps, and then stepping into your why, fully owning it and going on to create and live it in physical reality. So I want to really quickly walk you through those 8 steps, right? Number 1, you'll be activated into living that best life. Number 2, you will then go on to be fully present in that best life, okay? Number 3, you will get really, really empowered to master your time in the present moment. Number 4, you will go on to be fully present with your time. Number 5, you're going to really own and understand the power of abundance in the now. Number 6, you're then going to really, really, really understand how to create abundance, because there's never a shortfall. Number 7, you're going to get really clear on how you wealth map to create real returns across all of those wealth building blocks. You know, you're going to understand your freedom number, and then you're going to go on to wealth map and create freedom, security, and independence, my wealth building pyramid. Number 8, you're going to create intentions that leverage all of your assets from time, energy, and money using my wealth building formula and my wealth building pyramid. So you set wealthy intentions, okay? So that is the 8-step framework in a really simple nutshell, a little snippet for you today. If you want to know more about the Star Code, come to my Wealth Activation Mastery class, Thursday, the 26th of September at 10 a.m. UK time in my private Zoom room. It's an intimate setting, 60 minutes where we get to spend time together in Zoom, where you really will learn all of those steps. You will really understand. You're going to get a little workbook, and you'll get 30 minutes at the end of Q&A with me, where you can ask me anything. You know, I'm here for it. And if you can't make it, if you're listening back, if you're watching this and it's past the 26th, don't worry, because the link to register will enroll you for the very next mastery class, because I'm here for it. I'm here for the journey. This Star Code's not going away. I'll be hosting more of these mastery classes, but don't wait. Don't wait. Come and join me if you can join me really, really soon. You will get a recording and it's going to be super, super special. So thank you for joining me today for this very special episode where I kind of unleashed the star code to you. I'll go deeper into those steps in future videos and on the podcast. So thank you for joining me. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.